Hello, and this isn't what we wanted. That's what we wanted. If you're a tender child under the age of 38, your eyes in life have been scarred forever. We are going to be working on a spreadsheet for Dominions. We have some extracted unit information. And so, that's a lot of units. So it's important that we get the extracted information. And I'm going to first think about the best way we want to try and import this. We can import this in a dynamic way. We can import it by name. Inclined to do an import by name. One of the issues here is that some things appear to have the same name. Like heavy cavalry, heavily cavalry, heavy cavalry. So the way in which we deal with these is going to be a little bit complicated. I think this is heavy cavalry by age. Would be my guess. Yeah, there's more protection in the later ages. So this means that we can't just use the name to pull the thing. And also we would have to... Already this presents a little bit of a difficulty. We can set up using this, though. And so maybe that's what we try and do. We use this framework and we resolve issues related to duplicates later. Because what we can use is we can reference... Or actually, we could reference the ID. We could reference the ID. Okay. That's probably the best way to do it. If we reference the ID, we populate the name. Let's make a little bit of a buffer. And let's convert this to a table. And then we need to copy and paste. Oh, Jesus. There's so many units. What do we do? What do we do? Okay. So we go to here, which is going to be our... We're just going to call this units. And then we're going to make a column to the left. Call it ID. Don't know if we need extra space. And then we are going to copy and paste all 4,000 unit IDs in here. Can we paste without formatting? Control-Shift-V, got it. Let's clean this up a little bit. And then... Maybe you can delete these. I don't think there's anything in them. Let's leave one for space. And let's... Cry. The other copy, you better be old enough to be in here. We want to freeze the columns. Is it under view? Freeze. We want the first 3 rows, actually. And we will... to row 3, perfect. You make a drop-down list in a single cell instead of 4,000 cells in a vertical line. I think we want the 4,000 cells. We're gonna have various ways of filtering some of this stuff. We're gonna need the age for every unit, but right now we want to set it up so that it references the other scene. So we're gonna need VLOOKUP. Equals VLOOKUP. And then, how do we format this? It's blank to false, I think. What are we referencing here? This value minus C14. And then looking up in there. Got it. So we want VLOOKUP. We want this, and then we want to look up that value in the other spot, and we want to reference the table. And are we using column 1 though? We're using column 1? And we're using column 2. Got it. So we want to reference this table. Gonna do that. Okay. Can we reference just the table instead of all those cells? This is referencing the cells. So we want we reference table 1. Extracted units table 1. Sad Sunday, it seems the latest update is causing EU5 auto building mod to crash? Oh no. A good thing we decided not to play. Are you testing something, and do you play multiplayer? Playing our first game of multiplayer right now. Not testing anything specifically. Well, want to find out what the most efficient units are, cost-efficient units are. Too early in the day for spreadsheet? Hide your eyes. Cell range you want to be based on, the entire cell range you want to look into, number in which the column is on the second argument. False. Yeah, so I think we want column 2 because we want to pull the names. But can we reference a table instead of a cell range? I want to reference the table. Unit raw. Gotta bounce in 5 to 10 minutes. Just probably gonna say hey. Well, hello, hello. Let's see if we could reference just a table. Oh, you have to click the entire cell range and then click the table button. Okay. So exclam goes first. Two false. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's double check that that's correct. Why is there an extra? Hopefully that didn't cause an issue. Looks correct otherwise. A few days of chill MP at the Paradox forums in the off-topic section. Is there a faster way for us to do this? It's 4,000 units. I think it's going to auto-suggest the entire range, though, like once we get down. You have to select the entire range and then click table button. We already have a table, but the thing is we want to reference the table instead of the cells, because the table might get bigger or smaller. And if the table gets bigger, we wanted to reference the table. But what are people doing in the off-topic? Or the multiplayer in the forums? I assume being rapscallions. Debug Senpai. Interesting. Okay. And then HP, morale, size, strength. Okay, let's see about just kind of copying this. Oh, it converts it to unit raw. Reported for lewd, unsolicited spreadsheet content? No, not like this. I'll lose my Twitch license. Alright, so HP is 3. So if we come in here and we paste this and then reference 3 instead. I don't like that it didn't suggest populating the rest of this. I don't want to have to drag it down every time. Trying to look up if there's a faster way to fill all. It says just drag this down. No, we don't want to do that. That takes forever. If you highlight cells F4 through J4 and double click the little blue icon, it should drag down. Double click it. But we don't want to do all of them, we just want to do this column. Oh, I suppose we could just do... We could just do all the things that we're referencing. And then scroll them all down together. Can we do this? And then this? What happens? So it's... Oh, we want you to look up 4. Because that's the 4th column. Alright, let's make a bunch of extra columns. And then we have... How many columns do we have here? How many additional columns? We have size, strength, attack. What's next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 23. Don't really need a lot of it yet, though. So we need to insert a larger amount of columns. Hey Svanka, how's it going? NSFW spreadsheeting again? Yeah, I'm selling out to the bottom. I'm scraping the bottom of the gutter on Twitch in terms of appealing to the lewd and I want to say saliviciousness, but I don't even know what that's word, but that type of content. Happy Easter. Salubrious? I don't think it's salubrious. I'm saying phonetically it's a... Yeah. No, it's not salubrious. You're becoming a VTuber? Not like this. Salacious? That's probably what I'm thinking. Sinful. Just be a VTuber, but have my avatar be a giant spreadsheet. Alright, we'll do, for now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, fair enough. We have enough. Alright, if we do this, and then do one over... that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to reference 5. Can it recognize the pattern? No, it just repeats. Alright. Alright. So that's... we're on attack. We want to do 2 body prod. No! No! Paste without formatting. There we go. What's AP? The hell? Centaurs have 30. Is this action points or something? Runner, Triton, Triton King, Wraith King. Aura points? Hell yeah, brother. Alright, I don't know what AP is. Any plans for a victory stream before the new patch? Probably. 6 Star Wars reference? Salacious Crumb. That would go hard. Make my debut. Top viewers go to get banned from the Twitch chat. Wow, that's crazy. What an interesting sounding website. I'll definitely visit to getbanned. Pin the message. Alright. Gift a sub? Yeah, probably not. Does blocking ban him? I want to give this bot the hammer. Excuse me. Are we grabbing columns of VLOOKUP? If so, you should use index match instead. Yeah, I'm doing one column at a time. but I'm referencing the ID number. And so when I scroll down, it's gonna do everything. Although, I assume there's a better way to do this, yeah. People, like, my spreadsheets aren't immensely complicated. People, I won't say they wonder why it takes me so long to do them, but I always say that it takes me a long time. This is, I'm not the best at this stuff. The question is identifying, like, what's important is the long-standing task. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a way to populate all these down to the bottom, other than just scrolling it down. Well, you know, VLOOKUP, you're already above average. Know a little bit of referencing other styles. If you look at the Victoria 3 spreadsheet, that spreadsheet is like, does this guy spreadsheet? And the answer is not particularly well. But yeah, we're getting a little bit of a scroll on. Is there a way to go faster? Like, there has to be a way to populate it down to the bottom, but again, don't know. And then a lot of these we gotta figure out a bunch of other stuff for them. But we have liftoff. We've imported a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, and can we make this into a table? I think we had a problem with this. Did we resolve the problem? Okay. I'm really curious what stat AP is. I cannot for the life of me. Alright. Action points? Map move? Map move makes sense. Because centaurs have 30. That was really kind of standing out. I don't think we can make this into a table because we don't have not gonna do pivot tables. We can. Very nice. Let's fill this in with the gray. Although eventually we're going to need to reformat. We're doing this because it's easier on people's eyes. So now we can sort and look at the highest HP units in the game if we want. Nines can't possibly be the highest strength. Something's gone horribly wrong. Wait, why is that not sorting right? Literally never had this happen. What the hell? Okay. What's going on? Have we really never just ever done anything bigger than 10 on a sortable column? 9 is higher than 10, yeah. Oh god. Go to the VLOOKUP formulas and force it to multiply by 1 to be read as a number rather than text. So we just gotta do times 1. Oh, is there a way to auto-populate all these down? Alright. Oh, the spreadsheet's making me feel naughty. It's so naughty. We might play a little bit of Dominions as well. Double-clicking the little blue circle. I'm double-clicking it. Right-clicking it? I'm double-clicking it. That's what the... Is that how you do it in Excel and then it's just different in Google Sheets? I don't want to have to drag it all the way down. There's 4,000. I don't know if Google Docs has it. Yeah. Normally it's autofills. Or like normally it asks if you want to autocomplete. Let's see, tools. We all have that. Okay. It is what it is. Maybe control click? No. But we want to be able to search. Well, not search, but sort by these things. I think we might make a placeholder column as well. I mean, 2000's not, 4000's not that bad. It's kind of bad. But there's a lot of things we still don't have, like, cost and what have you. Okay, let's see if it works now. Yeah, it does. Hell yeah. Okay. You can see the stuff with the most everything. Maker of Ruins, biggest strength. And then Siege Golem. Wow, Siege Golem's hella high. I wish we had some costs on these units, but we don't. Oh. But now we can keep this, like, never mess with the sorting on this. And we don't have to worry about, like, bricking our setup. Hey, Happy Chef, how's it going? Little comma in front of it. Can we just do this number times 1? No. Oh, no. Okay. We have to be able to sort this back to normal if we want. Probably easier is to just insert a column and do ID tile ×1. You're right. Because eventually I think we just hide this column like somewhere else, right? Okay, so we won't worry about that right now. We have our slinger on the top. And we are looking up. We have our hit chance, which is attack minus the defense. And then it's looking up raw. And this is spitting out the DRN for it. Wow, defense makes you like unhittable so fast. If you're baseline, it's 56% chance. The math on defense is maybe just incredible. But okay, we have the chance on all of these, but hits to kill we were working on. And someone was messaging us and we were working something out. And figuring it out. Someone had a calculator for us, so I think we need to find an order of operation. Yeah, this is why elves are scary. Cavalry too. In the multiplayer game we're playing with, someone has cav and they have really high defense. Also makes sense why Blur, we've had so much success with Blur. Also means, though, that attack makes you really killy, or it makes you really hitty, not necessarily killy. Don't forget about harassment penalty. Yeah, there's a bunch of things we need to include in, and we can start including some of these in now, I think. There's the order of operations thing. Someone has like a flow chart. That we noticed, so we can start trying to create a list of all the things we need to put in. But the combat mechanics and the order in which they apply is what we need. In that hit VLOOKUP formula, you're referencing a range. If it was something like, oop. If you drag that down, the range will brick. Oh, for this. Well, I think, I think we'd rather just convert it to a table, probably. And do that. Because that also prevents the bricking, right? Oh wait. Oh, you're right. The formula is just getting bricked. Okay. %100% correct. Good catch. I spy my data. Hey, Spenta. Do you have the link for... Someone else Someone else last time we were working on this on Wednesday cooked up something for, like, turns to kill. I have to talk to him about that again. I forget. But yeah, we imported it, and we are... It is now sortable. And we have hit chance, and we need to start including other things into hit chance. Although we don't have like we don't have the other stuff we're gonna need eventually. But actually, we can start doing some stuff. Like how much we have per square. We make it round down though. So equals round down this. Let's try and have a little bit of hygiene for it. We'll do $L4 over 10. No. 10 over yes. Okay, so if we sort this, we should get 1 unit per square on the big beasties and 10 units per square on the teeny tinies. Check Discord. Dark Side Cookies gave it to me. Okay. No, not this one. This one was the vibe coded one, where it, like, wasn't actually calculating the stuff. It was just or like omitted DRN. But it was Dark Side Cookies, I think, that was cooking it up. We have some stuff we could do, though. I think. I didn't know how to make sense of this other stuff as much. But we could do, like, chance to hit head. But there's probably... we could probably make the enemy unit some sort of drop-down thing, so maybe we need to figure out... So, to do... Enemies we want. We need to figure out... and we need to figure out what all stats of theirs we need to reference. I don't have the other one. Okay. Here, let's open the game real quick. And... try and... we wanted to do it... we were doing a stream test of, like, Niflheim. We'll just... actually, we don't want that. We want the manual. What are we doing? Let's make sure we don't get weird stuff going on. I forget where the order of operations thing was, but we need to make a list of all the modifiers and things we need to apply correctly. This man's at it again. We're trying. It's gonna be a little bit slow going with this spreadsheet because there's... you try to do some really big thing. I don't think we have number of attacks with this data. But average damage, we can calculate average damage per turn, I think. Right? Because we know what... we just need to figure out what average DRN is. Although that's not... would it be more useful to have a column just for damage without DRN? Probably not. But both take, there's DRN... oh... both sides roll DRN for damage, right? And then the two get compared. So the average should actually just be... well, it should actually just be slightly higher than whatever the expected damage is when you take the weapon damage plus... oh, but we don't have all the weapon damage stuff, I don't think, do we? Move weapon damage. I don't know what's up with the formatting though. The thing to do is probably going to be to make a list. I feel like the amplitude of the project, you should dip it down a bit and then build it up, not everything at once. There's a lot of data you want to process manually. Yeah, but we're trying to do the simple thing first, which is turns to kill. Someone has a thing that sims it. I don't know if it can sim 4,000 fast enough, though. It was someone else then. R? Oh, it's formatted in case there's multiple attacks and they're different attacks. Jesus. Okay. Well, it'd be so much easier if they were attacking with the same weapon. You can join you in the stream with a mic if you like. Sure, yeah, we could try and think through this together. Here, I suppose I'll give you a call. There was someone made a flowchart of different modifiers that happen.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, so to some extent what we need to, or what I need to do here is like arbitrage out the simplest version of what we're trying to do. Which is we need to apply protection and we need to somehow deal with multiple attacks, I guess. And then how many attacks the unit's gonna get per square.
Oh, okay. So I think we should at first ignore multiple weapons because
Sure.
there's a tag for that is called ambidextrous, I think.
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
have it.
Yeah, so let's ignore multiple weapons actually.
Yeah. If there's more than one value, we should, for now, ignore it. We should take care of the single attack
damage.
ones.
The damage without
for the damage.
the DRN. Or the average damage is always going to be higher than the strength plus damage minus prot, right? Just because the DRN, when you reduce it to 0, you overkill. If you overkill your protection, it's always 0 damage no matter what. But if you overkill damage, or if you do extra damage over protection, it'll be higher. So the average should be higher.
Yeah. Oh, the average actually depends on the values.
Yes. That's what I was getting at. So what we need is
a formula. That's what we need.
We need something to calculate. Because if the prot and the you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
If prot plus strength, if prot plus the DRN is equivalent of strength plus weapon damage plus all those modifiers, then the average will be higher than 0. Even though if both roll the same DRN, it does 0 damage.
So I can make a table for the average values. It should look like this, like if the unit has 0 protection, and then we have all the attack values from 0 to 100 damage, and then it can give us the average value for each of the 0 to 100 for the 0 protection unit, and then we do the same for 1 protection unit, 2 protection unit, 3 protection unit. And that's gonna be a big.
No, that's I think the way what we want is the exact roll. We have a table for exact roll chance.
Yes.
And so.
But we are doing 2 rolls now. And there's a limit to the damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. We are doing 2 rolls.
That's not the issue. I think the issue is.
Wait, when you're going to hit, is there? You do 2 rolls when you roll to hit, right?
Oh, okay. I got it. Can you go to the table? This is the table, right? For the, yeah. Go to 0. 0. Yeah. Okay. So if
I think that this might not be right, even.
This is same as the.
Because this is
manual.
Okay.
I checked this. So if the damage beats the protection, then we get the difference value, and that is our average damage, right? Is it true? Yes. The difference is the average damage.
12% of the time it will do 1 damage. 10.36% of the time it'll do 2 damage.
That is true. And
so
everything below that is 0 damage.
Yes, but we need to. Well, we need to.
This is different, so it's actually perfect. So what we do is we do 0 times the chance to do 0, which is 1 minus 56%, and then plus all the other values times the difference.
Yeah, times the odds of them happening. The odds of them happening times the difference, but there's still like you need to dynamically. You can't just start from 0. You need to dynamically go to what the difference between prot and weapon damage. You need the formula to dynamically take the opponent, the thing that you're fighting against.
Yes.
And compare the combination of its strength, weapon damage,
versus prot.
Versus prot, right? Okay. So
total prot, natural plus the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's make a column for that, where we're just doing strength damage or strength weapon damage minus prot. We're just gonna try and find this value. And so that means that on our opponent, we're gonna have to do head strike versus. Okay. Versus body strike, right?
Yes, those are different, and there's a chance to hit head and hit torso, and those actually differ. Based on size and length of the weapon.
So
we need the formula for that too.
Yeah, so that's where we start.
Hopefully there's a formula in the manual.
There's page 61. Attack has 50% chance of striking the average torso. Oh my god, it's torso, arms, and legs. Torso, arms, and legs do the same damage though, and 10% to strike head.
Okay. The arms and the legs are for the.
But this is only. Significantly larger unit attacks a smaller one will have an increased chance of hitting the head. And lower chance of hitting the leg. Must be 2 sizes larger. So if 2 sizes larger... so we need an if-then... If the thing's 2 sizes larger, do XYZ. If otherwise, not. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I have the page now. 61. Alright.
So we need an if-then statement for this. So... equals if and then I need to look up if statement.
This will cover most of the units, but there are some units without torso and some units without
some
head.
units don't have a torso and some units, oh my god.
We should ignore them.
Yeah,
like there's the Demi-Lich Pretender, there's the Sea Father or something, the head, crab heads.
Yeah.
Pretender. Like, it's just 2 units. And the jellyfish, I guess. I don't know about the jellyfish, if it has a head. Yeah.
I need to make it if blank is... I don't know if I need an if or an if and. Maybe shields too. There's a place to start. Cookies is in chat here.
Yeah. Do I have
Cookies
the...
was had the damage thing I think earlier.
I talked to him. He said he gave it to you, and he said it's the same link I gave you.
Okay. Then I'm thinking someone else made the like random number calculator that like ran 1,000 sims to find the turns.
Okay, that was me, I think.
That was you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The simulation one. Okay, I'm gonna get the link. Google Sheets.
Need like an if else. So if size here we're doing us attacking them, so if we are greater than and then I think that we want 10% or 20%, something. No, okay, that's not working.
My sheet isn't useful because it's using random numbers to simulate things, and the Google Sheets is really slow doing this.
Okay, so then yeah, we're gonna have to do it a different. That was what I feared.
I can give you the formulas though. They are in here.
basic syntax. If this is greater than 2 equals... we didn't do... greater than 2. Or I guess... greater than or equals to? We could just do greater than 1.9.
I think we don't do any damage if the difference is 0.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Let's just do equals to. Can we get a return on this? No, there's still a problem. Okay. There are too many parentheses. Was that the issue? So make this 3. I think I'm gonna drop call because I'm thinking too hard about talking to you versus talking to chat, and I don't want to spam you with talking to chat, but I want to talk to chat. That makes sense.
All right.
Unless we're trying to figure something specific out, right? That makes sense.
All right. Yeah.
Or actually, what are you trying to figure out right now? Or he's gone. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. I'm trying to concentrate on like 3 things at once. I'm trying to figure out this. Try to figure this out. I keep talking to chat, not spam Spenta with noise. This is greater than 1.9. I think I have these mixed up. I think we need 20%. And then the false condition. So then we'll represent this as a percent, and we now have odds of hitting the head. My eyes, why is YouTube allowing this? They shouldn't be. We're gonna get banned any second. And all the other stuff does the same amount of damage, but it changes what you can hurt. Yeah. Sorry, Spenta. I was like trying to... There's too many things to like concentrate at once. But we have the head hit percentage, so we could do the non-head percentage. Because that's the one that matters most for where you strike, because head does like extra damage if it's bashing. Oh my god. Alright, so this is a hit chance, but we also need to do shield hit. And that's going to be... We have the hit chance that's just looking at defense. I think. And so what this needs to do is the same thing. It needs to look at defense plus... Okay. Oh, it needs to also ask if there's a shield. We don't have... We're gonna want the shield parry. One to the right. Parry chance. And then what we're going to do is, for a lot of things, this is going to be just 0. Yeah, the idea of Sedvone is that we're trying to compare units eventually. But, like, the goal is just to first figure out what units are just most cost effective at just killing one type of unit. And that's what we're trying to figure out here. Shields are pretty important. But we could say that we're not currently attacking something with a shield. We also don't need a parry here, we need a parry here. I was looking up your previous stream, so I'm kind of all up to speed. Okay. So if the shield has a 5 parry chance, and that's the opponent, then specifically, if we have a 43% chance to hit, what we need to do is we need to... We need to look at this 43% and see this other 5, right? If we have 5 Parry chance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to look at these. And this minus this is our odds of hitting the shield. Oh man. So it's basically that we're going to take this, we're going to do the same equation. But we're going to reference, instead of this, it's going to be this plus dollar $C $15. Total protection, armor protection plus natural protection minus armor. Okay. Isn't there a separate prot for each, like, limb? I don't think we want to go into that. So now it's going to look up a much wait, we're doing P4 minus the defense skill minus this, actually. Right? Because the shield is going to make it so you hit the shield. Oh, I need to know if defense values traditionally include the shield, no? The defense value typically in the spreadsheet here, does this defense value include the shield or exclude the shield? It includes it, right? The 3 point whatever percent's not right. Includes it? Okay. So we don't have a 92% chance of hitting a shield. This is wrong. Nor do we have a 3% chance of hitting a shield. We're gonna hit a shield a majority of the time. Actually, if the defense skill is higher... Right now we have something that is 0 defense. My brain's not working right. It'd almost be easier to do clean hit and shield hit separately. Okay. A shield hit is going to be... Actually, let's... It's easier to calculate clean hit. Okay. If we have something that has 15 defense... and has 5 of that from the shield, we're doing the calculation for a clean hit. So this is just a hit against the defense. And then a clean hit is going to be the defense minus the parry. And then this is just going to be... Okay. Can we get our autofill here? No. Please. Yes. And then the shield hit will just be the hit minus the clean hit chance. Okay. I check defense. Data in the sheet is basic defense skill. You add shield parry and add subtract penalties from armor. Okay, so that means we have to... That means we did it right. Here. Which, this thing's actually pretty hard to hit for a lot of these monsters. So the issue is harassment. I think we ignore harassment from now. But everything with high defense is going to look way better. High defense, big things with low attacks. Or high defense big things are going to look way better in the spreadsheet than they actually are. Militia unit in row 30 is basic skill 8, parry is 4. Armor shield modifiers -1, total defense. Yeah, the one that we care most about is the... If it hit the... We just have to know the shield one, I think, is the only one we care a tremendous amount. Right? But here's the odds of hitting a shield versus hitting clean. This is equal to 1 minus this. Okay, so we can now calculate... Could something... Are there shield hits and then... Is a shield hit always a body hit? Damage gets calculated. Defender is a shield. The hit is a shield hit unless the attack beats the combined value. Is a shield hit always a torso hit? Protection value uses the target's protection value unless it's a head hit. In the case of a headshot, the tab wants protection value instead of the main protection value. Okay. But it looks like we use head prot. Okay. Instead, if it hits the head. Which makes sense, because a lot of things you kill because you just spike their head. And that's like actually like a pretty big play pattern, so we're gonna need to include that. Like, boy do we love high prot things, or like giants are really good against high prot things with no helmet, right? Okay. But we do have head prot. Okay, we have head prot, body prot. Got it. Okay. So we have to calculate average damage. There are 4 kinds of hits, right? We could calculate the damage for each. Head, torso, queen, depends. Man, does it? Well, no, our light's going out. Not like this. We have another light though. Let's see him turning it off and back on again, huh? Put another light in here, so I can turn it on, get a little bit brighter. Okay, so for each thing, we're going to do average damage. And so we need to calculate what's the average damage when it is a clean head hit. And we need to compare the head prot to the strength okay, defense, parry, precision, body prot, head prot. Let's actually make these the militia. There's 7 on each. Alright. Head prot, body prot, nap prot. Also, the militia, one of these has a shield, right? So they parry chance of 4 and defense 8. Yikes. With the parry chance? That sounds wrong. Is that right? I'll just put it in at 12 and 4. Probably is right, actually. Militia is so weak. So we get a much different picture here where we're, yeah, hitting very often. Hitting the shield a big chunk of the time, though. Wow, shields are so good. Parry and shield prot columns are ready. Okay. We aren't going to need those yet because we're going to need those for calculating defense. But I will need those. Right now we're calculating offense only, right? Because we're not calculating the enemy against us. But we do need to think... We do need to set it up for whatever enemy we have that we're going to have that. Okay. So, parry, and then shield prod. Because shields have different protection values. Let's put 4 in for the militia, I guess. For now. Okay. So what we need is a clean hit. It's going to be the DRN figure plus... And the DRN figure makes this complicated, but just to sort out exactly what's going on to the head hit, we're going to have weapon damage. Oh god, we don't have weapon damage yet. We have the dual track value, weapon damage. Shoot. Which isn't... I don't think we can reference these. We're gonna need to set it up for multiple attacks and somehow... We're gonna ignore weapon damage for now. It'll be... I have to figure out a different way to do this. That involves separating all of the attacks, including all the attacks, this type of thing. And so if we ignore weapon damage, it's gonna be strength. Also gonna ignore that it does more damage if it's crashing hit. Strength minus. Gave me an equation. Armor prot plus natural prot. Armor prots. No. Plus natural prots. Minus armor prots. Oh no, but we need to, we're doing a head strike, so we need to use not this. Minus armor prots. Times natural protection. Okay, so we at least have this sorted out, divided by 40. And this is going to be like the positive margin. However, you will do a higher damage than this, and we need to figure out how much higher. Because you will roll competing DRNs. And in DRNs that reduce it to 0, you don't recover life when they fail to do damage by a larger and larger margin. But when they exceed the number, like if we roll -3 and then we roll +3, then 7 damage will be done, and the average damage will be 3.5, even though we had a low roll and a high roll. Or sorry, 8 damage will be done. Wait, does it cancel out? If we roll +10 and -10. No, yeah. So I have to use an example that exceeds this value. If we roll +6 and -6, our average damage will actually be 5, is the issue. I think you need to split those into multiple columns. Oh, and have odds that it's 0 versus... Maybe that's how it works. That could work. We could just do odd that it's 0 damage, and then all the non-zero scores tabulated by probability. God, that's a huge pain in the ass, but that is a way to do it. Okay, if there's a clean hit to the... We'll only have to kind of like do it once. So if there's a clean hit to the head, this is going to be the score. So this means that if we're making this head no damage, the head no damage percentage we hit the head, we have +4. On the DRN. So it means we need to our chance of doing no damage is going to be the inverse of this. Actually. Could rewrite it, but could just times it by -1. Alright. And then we do look up this figure in the same way we do have a lookup, VLOOKUP for this. And it will look up the percent chance that we do 0 damage. Right? Let me make sure I understand this math correctly. If we roll a -4... if we have +4 on the thing, we will do damage. We could actually just look this up and just do the inverse of this. It's actually the inverse of this. Right? No, because if we roll... No. It is the inverse of this. It's 1 minus this. So we can VLOOK up that, do 1 minus that. Okay. Because this actually... No, that's not right. We need to do this. It needs to be... Yeah, okay, never mind. So... we have a 13% chance. Oh, I feel like I'm getting this wrong somehow. This is if you have a -4 on your attack versus defense, your odds to succeed in hitting. So this is your odds of rolling a +4. I believe your odds of a +4 and a -4 are the same, are they not? They're not, actually. So if you are a +4, this is your odds of hitting. So if we are a +4, this would be our odds of exceeding the other guy's roll by 1. So it's 1 minus this. Okay. Look up, and then No. Need a comma. One minus this. Oh my god, please give me autocomplete. So this is the chance of no damage on a clean head hit. And then from here, is it actually just, is the average damage just, I'm trying to think if the average damage is actually just the difference between prot and strength and this type of thing. You have tags for weapon size negates, weapon size, eliminate armor piercing, ignore shields, all this. I think we include that after. All of them affect the damage cap. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be copying and pasting a formula over. I just want to try and figure out, at the most basic level here, what we have, and then we can, I think, add in the other variables. Because the thing that we care about is the zeros we care about, because low zeros and high zeros are the same to us conceptually. But we know that the average should be higher than just the difference between the two numbers. Because we have to do average damage now that we've excluded 0. What's the average damage without a 0 if we can't get a 0? Oh, maybe this wasn't the way forward. Because we need, for 92% of the time, that, P-type difference, 1 minus P. It's just probability times difference. Shouldn't it be higher? So we're excluding all the zeros? I just opened the stream and immediately flashed with a spreadsheet. I can't believe Twitch allows this. You're saying it's just probability times difference? In that case, the average damage would be like less than 3. Do you have the individual chances instead of chance to beat? Yes. And what we could do, but we have to do all of these. Or sorry, we have to do this is 7.48, it is 7.48. We have to do all of these, where this is our probability of doing 1 damage, our probability of doing 2 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage, 6 damage, etc. But we have to specifically pull these probabilities and assign them that number. And I don't know how to do that. Because our odds of, like, if we look at the scrum, this is our odds of doing 5 damage. So the apex of our non-zero hits, in terms of probability, is 5. You have a formula then? You have a formula that will pull only the probabilities of the thing and assign a value? That would definitely be helpful. This is such a complicated... But yeah, I'm guessing the average damage is a little bit over 5 when we hit, and the total average damage is like 4 point something, 4.5, something like that. Or the average damage when we do damage is a little bit over 5. And then let's start setting up the other one. This will be torso, this will be clean hit, no damage, torso. Hit, no damage, head. Clean hit, no damage, torso. So it'll be basically the same as this equation, except instead we will use the body prot. So we need to do C21. Or C20 instead of C21. Oh, that changed both of them? Interesting. Oh wait, no, it didn't. There we go. Equals array formula, indirect. It gets all the values after D in the column, so we gotta make the equation D. Okay. I don't think that this immediately works. Yeah. We still gotta put some stuff in, right? Because I have to have it reference the other sheet and then have the equation, right? This does the multiplication as well. Fantastic. I'm not sure how I need to parse or what I need to insert. I mean, I understand that I need to insert this calculation for damage differential. I just don't know where. In here I'm putting it. Hey Gannon, how's it going? What data points are you inputting today? Trying to figure out the average damage that we deal in dominions versus a unit. And once we know the average damage, we still need to have a... We still need to solve the problem of one-shotting. We as a calculation and exclude overkill damage. Oh, do we need to exclude overkill? Do we need to exclude overkill from the average? Oh no. Wait, if we exclude overkill from the average... Yeah... Overkill's irrelevant. Like if you occasionally do 20 damage to a 19 damage unit, that's not gonna pull up your... We have to exclude overkill. Spenta. Or there was something we had as like probability of like, maybe this is just too deep in the tank and we don't actually have to like sweat that hard. But if we have if on average like we do 12 damage and the unit has 12 life, we won't... Our average turns to kill is not going to be one turn always. And the issue is that the damage over 12 is pulling up the average. Overkill opponent's HP, yeah. Didn't mean to cause a brain melt. The brain's already melting. Why would you need to exclude overkill? Because overkill is pulling up the average in the same way that damage under 0 is pulling it down. Like, if you just do the average number, the average value output by DRN, like, if you do -8 damage, you don't heal the guy. But when you do +8 damage, you really do a lot of damage. So if your damage differential without the DRN is 4, and you have the +8 and the -8, you will end up doing, with a hit that does +8 and -8, you'll do 12 damage. And so you'll actually do 6 average damage. But the flip side is if stuff has 10 life, the fact that you do the 12 damage is irrelevant, because what you do is you kill the guy in one attack, and you don't kill him in another, and then the average damage is actually 5. We should put it in there, right? The overkill? We might want to put overkill in if we ever want to do a bless where we have the one thing. That's making my head hurt. But the where you can... We should put it in there, right? It shouldn't be part of the average damage. But we should have a separate thing for overkill, in theory, if we ever wanted to include a bless. Actually, yeah. I don't understand what I need to plug in here, Spenta. Can I... This is the reference. Here, I'll paste this in chat, because I don't know where I need to put this. But that's the reference to the value in the sheet. Oh no, wait, this entire thing is the reference to the value in the sheet, isn't it? Because we're gonna need to VLOOKUP the thing. I don't know where it goes. Overkill still does HP damage instead of difference damage. I'm not sure I'm following. What you're... I mean, I understand what you're saying there, but I'm not sure what you're getting at regarding excluding overkill or including it. We want, like, a non-lethal hit. Or non-necessarily lethal hit damage, I feel like. Because we are also doing... What's the % chance of a one-shot on every turn? Can you give me the sheet link and writing rights? I'd prefer not to. If I don't have a copy of this. Here, I'll just make a copy. And I'll share the copy with you, and then... But that'll work. Just trying to conceptually parse it though, regarding the overkill damage. Because we shouldn't... We want the average damage when we don't one-shot something. Because we're planning on having the one-shot on X turn. Did we solve this probability? But if we have the one-shot probability on X turn, and we calculate it for the first 5 turns at least, and then exclude all of those... we can, I think, kind of get something... Oh, I don't even have the copy open. Let me open the copy as well. Asking permission to another man's spreadsheet? That's personal. It feels personal. Like, it's like, it's intimate, okay? Weapon type matters for one-shot probability, as some weapons will inflict, instead inflict non-lethal wounds, even if it does full HP damage. Sword might chop off arm, but otherwise leave the target alive, for example. Oh my god. You know what? I mean, that's right. God damn it. I wanna get something where we can look at the gold cost of the unit, the gem cost of the unit, and just how good is this killing per cost? I wouldn't know what that would look like in the calcs. Well, I'm guessing we'll actually have to calc not just torso hit, but arm hits. And then the probability of what have you, and then exclude that. I'd rank it higher than babysitting my kid, I know. Someone deletes your kid, it's like, whatever, you can make another one. Someone deletes your spreadsheet? God. Unthinkable, actually. So, okay. But we can start doing the damage here. The damage is going to be equal to 1 minus this. So this is the probability. Oh my god, okay. It's gonna equal to... Let's just do the head probability, and then we'll do the torso probability. So we're gonna do this equation, like, twice, basically. So, equals... let's do parentheses, keep things clean. The probability of hitting the head times a damage calc that excludes 0 damage roll. So 1 minus this times average damage. Yes. And then that's when it hits the head clean. And then this is torso. So we're looking at clean hits. And we're gonna need 2 more columns. Critical injury. They bleed out. You have to cross-reference the wounds chart, but honestly, over-complicating. If a unit scores a critical hit on another unit, it might as well be a kill. Well... maybe we're overcomplicating it. Hey, Kula and the Hound, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated. This might be the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Thanks for the laugh, brother. Well, spreadsheets are no laughing matter. Respectfully. Well, thank you for the $5. Yeah. You can confirm. You can just make another kid. Let me tell you. Okay, and then this is going to be plus the... Oh, no, wait. This is clean hit probability. We need to multiply by this. So, times this is plus torso chance torso chance times 1 minus the... we can't even see it highlighted. It's AJ 4 times AK4. So this... Wish it didn't have the preview. Should be giving us the damage when we clean head. Well, this is going to give us average damage per attack, which I guess is fine, but not average damage per hit. Right? Because we're using the actual probability of each type of hit. I think that this is fine, though. Almost on the phone. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Also, undead don't necessarily die from the head loss. I do not envy this biblical endeavor. Well, you know, you want to calculate the efficiency of a unit. There's like one way to do it. This is average damage per attack, though, that we're calculating here. And right now it only includes the clean hits, not the shield hits. We'll start putting in some notes here. Dragons don't have arms, gelatinous cubes have no arms, legs, or head. Is the math mathing? We need to... We have to pull a calculation here where we're going to do non-one-shot damage and figure out average damage that's not a one-shot. I don't know if average damage per attack is what we're doing. Hey, Generalist, I played Dom 5 and 6. I'm not a pro. Are you trying to find players interested in multiplayer? I would be interested. Not until after I do... I am probably sometime in the future, but not in an immediate sense. Like, in the next couple weeks, probably. But not like a new game for today. Alright. Okay, so instead of AC, we need this to reference the shield hit chance. AD, and instead of AE, it's gotta be... No, AE is fine, as is AF here. And instead of AH, we want AL. Instead of AI, we want AM. Instead of AJ, we want AN. And etc. Okay. So shield hit, no damage, head. Shield hit. No damage, torso. This is shield hit head, shield hit torso. Find that 100% win strat from this Excel and pwn every soul in multiplayer. More like I'll find a unit that's just marginally more efficient than other units and build it and then level myself while playing into thinking the enemy can only do one option and then that they do something else, they zig. And all my efficiency is for naught. Okay, can we do the VLOOKUP for this equation, what it's referencing? Pretty sure we just have to do the exact same thing, we just have to add the shield prot to it. We don't have fatigue in here. Is this added to the armor protection? I'm assuming that the shield prot gets added to the armor protection. In the second part of the calc. Well, this is looking up something that doesn't have a... How is this even looking up stuff successfully? Wait, what? Because this has got an equation divided by 40. I think almost we should ignore that. It's minus a very small figure. Or how small is the figure? C21 times... Oh, this isn't causing a problem now, but it's going to cause a problem later. God. We got to make this round. I don't know how the Dominion's math rounds. But this is... It's multiplying by 0 right now. Or it's minus... So it doesn't matter what it does. But the second we add natural protection, this is not going to be able to reference a cell properly anymore. The immediate future is rarely an option in Dominion's multiplayer games, multi-games anyways. Yeah. It also, to some extent, it also depends if people are receptive to Dominion's content. If they're not, I can't justify just like spamming a bunch of Dominions. Like right now I get that we're working on a spreadsheet and there's relatively a small number of you, but we can maybe play a little bit too. I think we might just have to ignore this marginal prot thing actually. It makes... Or we have to, like, round. But I don't know if... I don't know if the prot rounds up or down. Because Dominions is always rounds in one direction, so I guess that's what we need to do. So the... It's already that. You can if I pay for it. I would... I mean, I guess, but a scenario where like one person's like, well, no, I actually don't like the idea of one person floating the channel, like, or something like this. I appreciate the offer though, joking or otherwise. I'm not sure if you're joking. But like if I made like only Dominions content, I mean I wouldn't even do that like at all. Well, I'm really enjoying playing Dominions, but I'm expecting my Dominions videos to do really poorly, and I have kind of a few in line, but we'll see how that shakes out. But I don't think it's like, I don't think it's feasible for me to last a lot of it. My brain feels like kind of spaghetti-ish now, chat. And Spence is even, yeah. Spence is doing the hard part. I don't understand the indirect function, which he's trying to set up. I don't know how it works. I'm just trying to think conceptually. Once we have that, we then need to do the one-shot odds. How are we calculating this right now? Did we fix this correctly? So strength. So we gotta add weapon damage to one-shot chance. It's all gonna get so much complicated when we add multiple attacks. Mostly joking. I want more Dominions content, but it's such a niche game. Yeah, that's like Dominions itself like has to be expensive because it doesn't sell that many copies. It's like very niche. It's like it's probably like the game with the worst graphics that's like most expensive that I'm aware of. Oil money funding you, just one step closer to being a football club. This spreadsheet is more complicated than sorts I did for my old job. Usually, like I feel like in a professional setting, it's not necessarily like the difficulty of assembling the spreadsheet. It's understanding what's important to the numbers that interact and like this type of thing. This is really complicated though, like doing the damage and like excluding the part that I'm okay at. I'm actually really bad at writing spreadsheets. The part I'm okay at is identifying what's important types of things, or at least I think I'm good at it. And we can't just do like average. The fact that we can't just do average damage. Under damage. But I think if we do like the first like 5 rounds, of one-shot potential, it will be insignificantly small. Like we will successfully like weed out the issues with doing overkill damage. It's gonna be so satisfying when we like populate this. And like get the feedback on efficiency per gold and this type of thing. Alright, let's just continue. Gonna have to make this round, as we mentioned earlier, but we can do this for now. And this is gonna be when we hit a shield. So, added to the head production is going to be C22. And then I assume that gets added. Actually, maybe it doesn't get added in there. I don't know. There's a very high chance we do 0 damage. How cool is this when we hit the shield? And we'll copy this. Oh, we have to... The thing we care about most is hits to kill, but it's actually going to be attacks to kill. Not like this, basically. Okay. We handle the math of this correct or no? I think I remember this not working out correctly in terms of the math. Or it could add up to more than 100%, which isn't how that type of thing works. Because it wasn't excluding events where we killed the thing with non-one-shots. And so if you add enough one-shot potential, you can get up to over 100% or something like this. Maybe we only need 2 rounds of this, actually. I think the first 2 rounds are fine, because you can exclude the one-shots from the first 2 rounds. And if you exclude one-shots on the first couple of rounds, I think math-wise, there's going to be very unlikely that something is not dying to 3 rounds on average. Or like the math for one-shots pulling the average damage up is not going to be consequential. Or the probability, I guess, maybe in like really, really fringe cases, like if you really can't kill the thing very easily, then you actually care about. I mean, there's a prot cap. Otherwise, this gets more complicated. If we want to include more and more rounds, because we have to exclude somehow when they die to non-one-shots. Because we could just cross-reference. Oh, can we just calculate the odds that they've been hit by a one-shot attack by this round? This calculation is not even correct anymore, because we are not running it through. We're not running through whether it hits your head or your shield or your what have you. It's just looking at prot and HP. I think this would be 7 anyways. Or your chances of one-shotting are a lot higher. If we make this really low, this can get over 100%, which it shouldn't. All these combined can get over 100%, which they shouldn't with the math. Do you have a game for decompressing that might still gel with your audience? Not really. Maybe I should have one. This is hurting my brain. I think we'll play a couple turns of the Niflheim game that we were cooking up. We're kind of figuring. We made some progress. I would really like to get to the gold spend per killing a unit as a kind of like initial victory. There's our Niflheim stream game though. Okay, it looks like we're fighting someone. Lanka, I think, right? Or Machaka. There we go. Oh yeah, so we've surrounded him, so he should get uber clapped here. I think this guy could probably preach. What are we researching? Construction? Alright. I guess we... Let's come this way. Sino's on the surface. What's the world coming to? We'll recruit another scout. We gotta think about forts too here. Bruce might be thinking of attacking us. Where do we want fort? I kind of want to put one there, but that's just stupid. So we can recruit the other things faster. But that's going to interfere with Niflheim. We got to spread our forts out more. I think forts right on top of each other is a lot better when you're playing Perrine. A fort here would probably be okay. Thinking of one here too, though. Guess we'll recruit a scout and get ready for making it. And then we are recruiting stuff out of here. We have so much gold. Yeah, that's what we can recruit. Damn. Sinos aren't terrible. I think they're size 4, and our guys are size 6. So we can share square. As a fort, this wouldn't generate us more income, but we wouldn't hate being able to recruit the Sinos easier. This is a little bit of a choke point. I think I would prefer a fort over more. Let's also recruit some Sinos. Yeah, mistakes were made somewhere. Find Graveyard of the Damned. Get a battle. Looks good for us. Now that it's happening in the cold. Oh, we didn't script those guys. I think we want them all together, but I think they all died anyways. But in the cold... How much prot do we have? 21. Yeah, so I think we do want cold 4. We were deciding between cold 2 and 4 for this nation, but I think cold 4 is probably where it's at. Just because it makes this stuff better, and then we get more... That kills our growth when it's really cold. But when we build forts, it negates it. Let's just mix these guys together. Wow, they look so much smaller like that. Probably not that good at forging stuff, actually. I think he's giving us a ton of research. I guess conjurations, maybe where we want to go down. We have some unique summons, and he can do them at a pretty high level. Not all of them scale, I don't think, though. Alright, let's come here. It's gonna be awkward. We've searched with death too, so she offers glamour too, and also nature, which we currently don't have a search for. Start winging that guy over. This guy was coming down, I think. We can research both these guys. I guess we can alternate here. We can upgrade this as well. We just pick that up. This guy could search this stuff pretty well. You know what? I think that we don't want to recruit. I think we want more of these. This guy can help us against the dead. The priest. So let's do that. We might even be able to get up there on the next turn. Could break into fire maybe with this guy. Not the best though. Oh, he's actually playing the game? Trying to, a little bit. I was feeling fried on trying to figure out how everything should link up. And I'm still kind of thinking through it. But just trying to get a very basic calc for how fast does this kill the other thing. And then once we have that, it'll be making a bunch of different units to fight against, and picking out some, and maybe I can ask, figure out some way to ask the Dominions community what typical units do we want to see for fighting against. And then the next step would be, how quickly can they kill us? And then we would be able to work out some sort of trading efficiency or something like this, which we can gold cost per killing stuff quickly, gold cost per tanking, gold cost per exchange, this type of thing. And like I don't know, if you want to get like really good at games, having access, there's like a lot of knowledge that just generally is not accessible that's like really useful. Ranger's boots. Cold +1 worldwide. That's convenient that a lab spawned there. And I mean, okay. Sorry, excuse me. We're gonna bring this guy over here, build a temple, and then build a fort. Because the Great Gold Mine makes it generate a lot of income, and we already got a lab for free, so might as well go all the way. And kind of keen on recruiting some of those guys anyways. So a very cheap Sacred Priest for us. Did we forget to move this? Or what had happened? Oh, we searched. We searched. Didn't find anything, but we searched. Oop. Didn't want that. Actually, wouldn't mind one on Guard Commander. We can share the square, so these guys will slip their way in. Did we get attacked? No. What was the thought here? This guy's coming looping down. Kind of just want to... We could try building a giant fortress. That would maybe make more sense. Do giant fortresses have more income? Do they have more admin than a regular fortress? Is there not a wiki article for it? So default forts, what we care about, or what we were looking at here is admin, which gives you income. The nation has no modifier, then they will follow the default one. And I think that you can only build up to fortress in early age. Something like this. Those numbers don't look right. This is Dominions 5. This might be Dominions 5. Rating units efficiency versus early indies would be very helpful. Yeah. Like, especially versus each type of thing. Be like, how well do you trade? How well do you avoid attrition? Avoiding attrition is actually more important than killing stuff, right? Because they're more likely to rout than you. You can build bigger fortresses with spells later. Okay. These numbers aren't right though. It's base cost for a fort is 1,000, is it not? But giant forts. Yeah, we pay 1,000 and then our upgrade is higher. But is it the same level of admin? Alright. So these numbers just aren't right. And these give more wall integrity. But do they give admin? Apparently not. So we have to pay way more for our forts. Do we get extra... Maybe we get extra command points. But otherwise, it seems like a raw deal for Niflheim here. Let's maybe kind of trend over to the side. Nice. We're old. It's the old age giving us the things. I think we can expo into that. That might not be the case. Only have 8 dudes. Maybe risky. For water, I think that's a high roll for us. That's gonna be nice. Let's get them into the north a little bit and search sites as we go. Why don't we actually give him a retinue of these things? And then have this guy continue to preach. And then the commander can move this army. Should be able to handle that. Don't know if Dom 6 has a wiki for it yet. On the forts, yeah. I'd be keen on knowing who has the best admin. I was looking for it. I don't know. We could just look everything up in game. Have you tried Old World? I have tried Old World. I remember not being too enamored with it, but there's also Construction 9 item that gives you Mason trait that lets you upgrade castles 1 level further. That's pretty hot. I think we'll try and play like 1 year out or something like this. So, 1 more turn. Ouch. Huge attrition. Barbs are so potent against giants. Jesus. We have like regeneration and everything. I guess we just don't have an enormous amount of prot. It was cold here, but not super cold. Maybe this is the issue. Maybe we need to spread our dominion a little bit better. I think if we start another multiplayer game, we might be looking to start it as Niflheim. But, okay. I should have put these guys further back, but this is probably fine. They can displace and get up to the front, and then our guys who are size 6 can share squares with some of the 3 size guys, which is kind of the plan. But yeah, I guess they just do too much damage. Too much attack density, they're getting the wraparound, Jesus. Wrap around before the reach, yeah. The truth hurts there. But back rides, easy peasy, beautiful cover girl. And it's so interesting how some things are just like really hard for one to expo into, and then some things are really easy to expo into. And it varies. Like, these guys are gonna do just fine into those militias. Nice, 3 water. I think we might have that guy come around. Start searching for sites. I think our searching is probably a little bit loose, but that's not the biggest deal. Looking for another place to put a fort. I guess here might be okay. I think we might prefer this place with the sinos, yeah. Oh my god, so much unrest here. Glowing mushrooms. Is there a shortcut? We'll search while we get this stuff linked up. I suppose one of the questions I gotta try and answer is how do we make best use of these guys? I really do kind of like the javelins on such a big, like, they do so much range and damage on a guy with this much strength. And then they have pretty solid prot. They're tough to kill. These guys just might be better though. But you know what? We don't know. Why don't we know? Because we don't have a spreadsheet. It's terrible. Alright, so that'll be, I think, the last turn. We'll see what happened. Find a magical site. The Gloom Gate. Oh, very nice, very nice. And then found one over here. That's that nature coming in clutch. Interesting. Alright. Uneventful. Wow. Another freebie. Probably should have just recruited a commander out of there to start on. I mean, still can, I guess. Oh, I'm just kidding, we can't. Alright. This guy also rolls high for the 4 water. I think we could just do this. That's a lot of units. It's a bunch of pale ones though. They probably would probably win. But you know what? It's not cold. It's not cold here. We'll say, you know what? Not cold. We're not going anywhere. Disciplined tactical retreat. Now we start creating a fort and he comes up and up. It's gonna be an issue actually. Are we okay fighting him in Iron Peaks? I think maybe we are. And by we are, I mean I'm greedy. I'm a greedy pig, and I want to start constructing that fort, and so I'm gonna do it anyway. Greedy pig wants his fort. You come this way too. Old piggy. Yeah, I mean, I've seen better expos. Yeah, he's kind of struggling a little bit here. That seems one thing that even if you boost up their difficulty, AI really struggles with. Like, the fact that we have, like, so many more locations than them is a big deal. Other games you plan to cover in the near future besides EU5 and Vic3? No, switching to Vic3 quite a bit more with the new expansion. I want to make a spreadsheet for the ships. That should actually just be way more straightforward than this Dominion spreadsheet. Holy. And some of why working on the Dominion spreadsheet now is just to make it a little bit smoother and easier, like, thinking through some of the Vic3 stuff. But I think we're going to call that turn, and so that's going to be one more year played here for Niflheim. I do think we would make adjustments if we were going to play this where we would get some Astral, but kind of intrigued by the Growth 3 idea, generally speaking. It's still getting massive growth in the capital. I don't know. You need to die real fast for growth, not to be like just way better for income than any other scale for gold income. And it's like gold income translates to mages. There's probably some interesting calcs you could do for this, just like straight across. Also try and make sense of what Spenta sent me in terms of the calculation and get it to work in my spreadsheet. But I think we're gonna wrap up. Let's see if there's anyone who's on our radar on Twitch. Probably won't just track down. Just kind of quick perusal. No, nobody immediately stands out, so I think we're going to wrap up the stream. Thank you everyone for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You know, YouTube algorithm thing. And other than that, have a good one. Bye-bye everyone. Take care.